Hi, my name is Tyler Johnson, and I've done my food presentation on Kartoffelpuffer, which is a traditional German dish, also known as potato pancakes. Some history and culture about Kartoffelpuffer. Like I said before, it translates to potato pancakes and is a German dish. And it consists of a fried potato mixture that is flattened, very similar to a pancake. Kartoffelpuffer is typically seen at German fairs and is sold kind of as a street food, but it's also made in restaurants and in many German homes. In 1810, Germany's Oktoberfest began, where the potato pancakes were sold amongst other street food fairs. The dish has also been served throughout Germany since the 18th century. The German dish has spread across the world since then. The nutrient composition of Kartoffelpuffer, depending on the size of the cake, they're usually about 99 calories. We'll have 3 grams of protein and 23 grams of carbohydrates, 6 grams of fat, and 2.5 grams of fiber. I wouldn't consider this to be one of the healthiest dishes that you could consume, but in certain situations, you could utilize the carbs and the fat, like after a workout or a run or something like that. Um, the relationship to disease, the main ingredient is potato. So potatoes can carry some diseases that can cause harm to humans. During the growing process of the potatoes are at risk of being infected, which can later cause diseases to people if they are consumed after being infected. These risks are also possible if the potato is consumed after its best bud period, which is the case for most things. Some common diseases that are found in the potatoes are common scab, early blight, fusarium dry rot, black scurf, pink rot. There are many others that can be caused or found on a potato, but these were the most common ones that I found. Um, the main ingredients found in traditional Kartoffelpuffer are russet or Yukon potatoes, just depending on the season, yellow onions, eggs, and garlic. To ensure that these ingredients are high quality, it's important to research locally grown produce near you. Like you would be able to find most of the ingredients at a grocery store, but for the best possible taste and experience, farm fresh produce is probably the best bet, just to find a fresh and clean version of the ingredients. Agriculturally, seasonality, like I mentioned before, russet potatoes could be used year round, while the Yukon potatoes are seasonal from summer to fall. Um, Availability is pretty broad because of the ability to use russet potatoes. Um, and sustainability, both types of potatoes are sustainable, and I wasn't able to find any known damage to the air, water, or land specifically from the potatoes. Obviously, most types of agriculture have some sort of side effects due to the machinery used, even if it is organic. So the preparation for the recipe, you want to use clean, peeled and diced potatoes. Add the onion, eggs, garlic, flour, and salt, and stir until it's a tacky texture. Because if it's too wet, it won't really hold together well. It'll just spread out over the pan, kind of like most pancakes. So you want to add canola oil to the pan and make sure it's hot so it actually kind of fries it. It's supposed to have kind of a crispy, outside. So once the pan is hot and the oil is hot, add the potato mixture to the pan and flatten it. You don't want them to be touching, so just keep them separate, even if you have to do one or two at a time. And you only really need to fry them for 3 to 5 minutes on each side. And then you want to place them on a paper towel lined baking sheet, garnished with cinnamon, powdered sugar, sour cream. I could imagine you could even use chocolate or regular syrup with this too. Overall, I think it tasted really good. I'm not a big fan of onions, so that part of it wasn't my favorite. So if I were to try it again, I probably would leave the onion out of the recipe. It was pretty sweet, even with the garlic and the onion. It's like a fluffy French fry or a hash brown. Um, kind of difficult to describe. It's just like any other fried pastry. But in Germany, the dish is typically served with applesauce or fruit, sometimes dusted with powdered sugar and topped with an egg. It can also be served as a side with a main dish, like just a normal entree, kind of like a biscuit, typically with sausage, stew, or other grilled meats. I found it unique that as it can be served as a brunch meal, but it also qualifies as a side with your entree. It's a pretty versatile dish. I actually forgot to take a picture of it when I made it, but here are some images of what it would look like so you can get a visual. Comparing it, it's interesting to research other countries' traditions and meals. In America, we're usually kind of using other countries' foods and cultures and kind of blending them into our own. But we usually go out to eat here in America and order a dish that is native to somewhere else. We don't usually have our own food to eat. But in Germany, many of the dishes that they eat are still traditional meals for their country. And there's my reference sheet.